guys, I'm Concha, and welcome to While We Were Awake podcast, the place where spirit, logic, and our 3D realities come together to create something beautiful. And today we are talking about, drum roll please, Frenemies and family feuds. And today I have the family.
Hey y'all.
Everybody introduce themselves please.
I'm Janae.
I'm Chris.
And this is my beautiful family here. And because the culture is very much alive here, we are not sponsored by Bel Air. But, woo!
All right.
Mazel tov, everyone.
Okay.
He'll be Jewish today.
Yeah,
Right.
today, just for the day. Just for the
Hey,
day.
they got the money. I'm with them.
About to get canceled.
No, right. We gotta be careful.
Be
with
careful.
That. I
We
am
love you guys.
Not trying to get Kanye'd.
So, we're going into this episode. We are going to visit the topic of frenemies. Now, pretty much everybody is knowing of what a frenemy is. It is pretty much a person that you believe is your friend, but they have ulterior motives or they act a little stealthy with their intentions. And I know I just screwed that word up, but don't even trip. We're going to gloss past that. So, what was one specific moment where you can narrow down in your life where you had an encounter with a frenemy?
You got me digging.
Like any main thing that really stuck out where it was like, yeah, I don't think she really likes me like that.
I have had it.
I've had a vibe. I'm like a vibe person, so I have mutual friends of other people. Not necessarily my friend, maybe a friend that introduced me to another person. I catch a vibe. I get a vibe that you may not like me, or you may just be jealous of my relationship with our mutual friend. You know, so I get a vibe. It's more of a vibe pickup type of thing. You know, like, oh, they may not like me. They never really did anything that stood out to me that was like, oh, that was just Bo, or, you know, but it's not. I never really had like a really big encounter.
Real smack in the face.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you're
At least
blessed.
I didn't know about. At least I didn't know about it.
Like, you're very blessed. What about you?
To me, I have had plenty of people who I consider friends. And getting into like the family aspect of who we are as a family, we're very empathetic people.
Yeah.
You know, we all, you know, we want to see the good in everybody. And so that leads us to our sympathy being taken advantage of. So I've had people that were in my life where I felt like, oh, they genuinely was my friend. They genuinely fucked with me. But as time went on, if I did something that, you know, was an accomplishment or something like that, or just anything in general where it was like, I felt like I needed you and you turn your back on me or whatever the case may be, or if you just talk about me behind my back and I find out or whatever, I had a few encounters of that. It was nobody that was really close to me though. It wasn't nobody that I could say like I spent years and years and years and years with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it.
So yours was more or less just like an associate.
Yeah. It wasn't nobody. I like the people who I have friends that I'm no longer friends with. You know what I'm saying? That I was friends with for a long time, but I never considered them a friend of me. Like,
yeah, that's the same thing with me. Like I have tons of friends that I was like mad cool with, but they were never a friend of me. I think we just may have grown apart. Yeah. Or, you know, we just people grow apart.
And I still love that person. Like I still and I know that person still love me. Regardless of if they said something about me or whatever, like I still love them and I know they still love me. It wasn't I know this person don't got no hate in their heart for me.
Right.
But I have had encounters with people who I was associates with that was like, oh, this is over here, ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's flip the coin on that. What do you think drives people to that type of resentment within their relationships and dealing with their friends? Like, do you jealousy for sure?
Jealousy. I think these low key competitions, especially with females, you know, I guess that falls a little bit with the jealousy, but nobody wants to admit when they're jealous. They just, you know.
And I also think a lot of it has a lot to do with insecurities.
Yeah,
we all struggle with insecurities, and a lot of times when you struggle with your insecurities, you don't know how to deal with them. So you project your insecurities onto like in different avenues
and everyone
around you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you not dealing with yourself. So therefore, you're not gonna be able to have a relationship that's for real and solid if you ain't handle yourself. So it's gonna come off sketchy. It's gonna come off kind of like weird or whatever because you dealing with your own demons. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Definitely.
So I had a epiphany. So, you know, a lot of times where we have good friendships with people and they might do something that you don't necessarily like, right? Like, you know, it's just something that happened. Maybe it wasn't even intentional. But kind of like the same thing happens in relationships. Like your man do something, you ain't really like it, but you never spoke up about it.
That's me.
You never spoke up about it. So you harbor it. And as you go along within this friendship, it kind of turns into a resentment, like a little silent hate. You know, because it's like once you don't speak up about something, then you're constantly just adding on.
Letting it build.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like every little thing that you trying to start picking out, it's like, oh, now you doing this. Or, oh, now you doing that. You know, so I really think, too, a lot of times that it's just a matter of people not speaking up for themselves. Like not really creating that boundary of what's not okay to do. You know.
And I've done that
keyword
before. And it turned out really bad for me.
When you said a boundary?
Not a boundary. I'm talking about just harboring.
Oh, okay. I thought you said I set a boundary and it turned out real bad.
No, like when you just like you let it slide.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a slider. I let it like whatever. It ain't that deep at that moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm a slider. I just let it ain't that deep at that moment. I ain't gonna talk
She
about
said
it.
I'm a slider.
I'm gonna let it slide. But listen, I'm only gonna let it slide so many times, and when it come out bad because if you don't, you look
it's
slow.
like a boom.
And I've done that.
Right.
And
I
used to do that a lot in the past in my relationships. Now with friends, you know, because you're a little more open with your friends. Bitch, I ain't feeling that, you know. But in relationship, you tend to kind of suppress your feelings a little bit and be worried about your significant other, how they may feel, and you know. But I definitely can say I was a slider in the past, but I had to start speaking up for sure.
And that's what you find so much peace in that.
Yeah.
When you actually just sit down and have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You realize that, okay, I'm listening to how you feel. Because there's a lot of things that I've done to people that I didn't even know.
You ain't realized.
That I realized.
Right.
And I'm a very understanding person. If I've done you wrong and I've done something wrong, I'm gonna take accountability for that.
Right.
I've done that. I was like, I was wrong in that. I'm sorry. I apologize. And if you no longer want to be in my life because of what happened,
you want to know what's so sad about that though? A lot of people cannot accept apologies.
No.
Like you will literally say, "I'm sorry for something. I can see what you're saying. I'm sorry for that," and they'll just drag it.
Or they won't talk to you, or they won't.
Yeah, have you ever?
Yeah, because they already made up in their mind that they don't want to mess with you no more. They don't want you in their lives, and you know what? That's okay.
That's okay.
And one time, it was this thing this lady I just seen today. It says, "Let them, let them do this, let them," because you're gonna waste a lot of your life trying to force someone to agree with you.
Manipulation.
And, so you can't just force somebody to go on your you know, hey, come back here with me. No, you gotta let them. This is their life. This is their journey. You know what I'm saying? It's your life and your journey.
Right.
Yes, you could be friends with somebody for a long time. Like the point where y'all like sisters, and something happened, and they no longer want to talk to you, no longer want to mess with you, and that's okay. I came to the realization of that recently, and it was real dark for me at first. But then I had to realize that what this person put into my life with these past years and years that we were friends is I appreciate that. But everything has an end,
right?
Even life. So nothing can last forever, no matter how much we want it to and stuff like that. We have to move forward with our own lives and accept the fact that they like, all right, I'm done with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not gonna lie. I was always the person that's.
Yeah. But I'm definitely that way. Hey, I'm a Capricorn. I'm stubborn. I'm a goat. It does take me a minute to come around, but I think I've grown a lot from that. Like I'm open more to conversations and But I would be 2, 3 years, 4 years. I ain't never talked to you for a minute. Like you said, be done with it.
I know
But,
it's forever.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But you know what I'm saying? To me, if the other person on the end, if you want to like be done with me, because I had I had a situation like that where a person just dumped me, and it's the person I love.
How to love somebody, like my grandma say, with a long-headed spoon. Like we family, we friends, or whatever. Because I consider my friends almost like my family. You're my friend, you're my family.
Yeah.
But I gotta love you from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm in a place where I'm protecting my peace.
Exactly.
And some people,
and you got your right to protect
different.
your peace.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if that person is your friend, they're gonna respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so sorry I wasn't bringing you peace that you
But
needed.
I think it's a fine line though in between protecting your peace and avoidance.
It is.
I
I feel like that's
line.
when you don't have the conversation because a lot of people just choose. No, they don't.
Hey,
and
if
don't
you
even
one of them people, then you ain't having the
To
conversation.
me, that's avoidance. So to have the conversation, to give it closure, like okay, agree to disagree. Right. Then it's like okay, now I'm protecting my peace. We agree to disagree. Leave it how it is. Right. But if you just won't even address the issue, and it's somebody may want to speak to you, or you may not. Like it's kind of like I'm avoiding it. Right.
Well, maybe it is avoided.
That's how
I'm not gonna. I feel like I'm gonna avoid it, but it's okay. Like I was hurt by it, but I'm like I gotta move on.
For me, leading up to the moment, it's because I'm speaking to you. I'm constantly talking to you about an issue. I'm saying, like sis, don't stop doing that. Why are you doing this or why are you doing that? Like, I don't mess with these people, or if I don't do this, or like why you keep trying to put that into my life. You see what I'm saying? And then you just keep doing it. I don't look at it as avoidance. I look at it as you made your choice.
Well, I look at it like this too, and also whenever you deal with people and on a human level, you get what I'm saying? You deal with people as people first. You're not, deal with man as a man and woman as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, you deal with people as people first. And what I mean by that is, if you look at a person, you see them for who they are. The choice is yours to accept that or not. You get what I'm saying? It's whether you want to deal with it or not. You get what I'm saying? Like, if it's something with their mental health and you're like, I can't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much for me. That's your choice. That's your choice to not deal with that or whatever. Right. That's a lot. It took me to, like, actually go and see what it was. Like, I never been to the mental hospital. I almost did. But I went and I had my nursing clinical at Pontiac General. And I got to sit down and talk. We had to do interviews with these people. And talk about like the people that was in their lives and friends and stuff. And it came to my realization, kind of with my situation where it was like these people had put a certain hindrance on another person's life. And it wasn't even like they meant to. It was just more so, you're the only person I got. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like I ain't got nobody else to run to, I got you. So, but counter looking at it on the other end now I'm doing this assessment with this person, it's like, dang, that's a lot.
Right.
I wouldn't expect nobody to deal with that. And if you choose to deal with that, man, God bless you. And if you choose not to, then God bless you still. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we kind of look at people when you do that. Oh, man, that's me the most. It's beef. It's not beef.
No.
It ain't gotta be beef.
We ain't saying nothing about beef.
A lot of people got issues that ain't diagnosed, and they feel
I feel like you wanted to fight me from jump. If you feel like it's beef, if you feel like it's beef because we not talking or speaking no more, then you wanted to fight me from the jump.
Everybody don't want to fight.
No. That's how it always leads to violence.
Like it brings me back to insecurities within themselves. Because they low-key probably admire something about you instead of just giving you your flowers.
Ooh, confused admiration.
Instead of just saying that, they project that negative energy off on you. When really and truly you admire that about me.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, don't understand, like, you have to come. We are our own people, bro. Like, people that come in our lives, that are in our lives, friends, family, everything like that, they are part of our journey. They're not our journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. Like, where you going, these people are placed in your life to help you get there. It's kind of like rockets. Setters on a rocket, and as the rocket shoot up and you soar, the things fall off.
But see, I don't look at it that way. I look at it like these people that come around along the journey are actually reflections of who we are at that time. We are reflecting back what we are in that moment to make choices as to who I want to be. It's like saying, hey, you done dealt with this encounter. Did you like that encounter? Did you like what you saw in that? No, I don't want to be like that. So let me...
Or somebody, you need somebody that actually puts something into you that you'll take with you for the rest of your life. That's a good thing. Positivity.
Yeah, I definitely think in everybody, relationships, friendships, people come in
and out. It's an opportunity
always. It's all. I think it's the opportunity, but it's always something you getting from that person. It's always I feel like it's a use situation. You know what I'm saying? You getting something from me, I'm getting something from you. Whether you here for a lifetime or not. You know? And that's how I look at failed relationships, failed friendships. I always try to divert to the positive side of why this person came into my life. You know? And that's why I say I don't really have a frenemy, you know, maybe some hearsay mess like, oh, she don't like you, but she probably, I ain't trying to be cocky, but she probably jealous about something. Cause I think I'm a cool person. I ain't got no beef with nobody that I know of right now.
See what you said, like, so when you said I think I'm a cool person, we all think they're cool. Who wake up in the morning like I'm not the shit. Like nobody ever did that. Right. But see, when the thing about it is, you always have to look at.
Oh no, she knows she cool.
People like, of course,
she knows she
about on the outside looking in. You get what I'm saying? Ain't nobody in here in this world is perfect.
No, definitely not.
So when you elude like perfectness, it's like you're telling yourself a lie. But you have to understand that, you know, we all have flaws that we may not even notice about ourselves. Like, we might even be knowing, like, dang, I didn't even know I was moving like that, cuz my bad. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's okay to get
because a lot of times they like survival mechanisms. Yeah. Like, the way we move is like, okay, I got used to moving like this because I'm protecting myself here on watching my 3s here, my, you know, my 6 here, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So I can definitely relate to you when you say, like, dang, I didn't even know I was moving like that, but thank you for telling me.
Exactly.
You know, so.
And that's a respect thing. So that's how you decipher if it's jealousy or somebody just really looking out for you. Like, hey, you know, you like, hey,
who's for you?
Yeah, who's for you?
Yeah, definitely. That clink, 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 clink. That's a good one. Okay. So, this topic was very interesting to me and a little triggering. A lot of people don't really know, you know, a lot of my background, but I was actually raped, and I was set up by a friend. Like, we went somewhere together, and she left on purpose. So I feel like she knew, because she just literally like left, didn't say nothing else, nothing, like nothing.
Did she like? Did y'all talk after the fact?
No,
or no? Like just
ghost.
Oh yeah, for
ghost.
Sure. Set up.
Ghost.
Yeah, for sure.
So when we visit the topic of that, it's always like looking back. You can always see little things that you should have picked up on, or a little, like the way they said something, or the way, you know, because a lot of times when we in our element, we don't pay attention to so much of the negative aspects that's around us, because we just vibing, we in our element, things popping, you know.
And we're young. So you probably, like, not necessarily naive, but you know, you ain't young. When you young, you kind of.
I can look back 4 years ago with certain people and be like, Connie, you should have.
But see, the thing about what I told you about what's inside of us as our family, like, seriously, every single last one of us, we have this, we're empaths, we have this empathy, and it's automatic. so we see the good in everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And that's just us, and it leaves us to get taken advantage of in that way, you know. Because you wouldn't, you see them the red flags, but you don't want to believe it because you're like, oh, the good.
Yes, there it goes. You don't want to believe it.
Exactly.
You don't want to believe it.
But being inexperienced to certain situations and environments too it's not ignoring red flags. It's just ignorance almost. You know, it's just not knowing. And I hate that had to happen, but
you know, but what? Yeah,
it's you didn't know. Like, you know, it was a hard lesson learned. You know, like you got to watch females and who you call your friends, and you know,
and that's somebody she knew personally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. That's the part that.
Can we go? Can we go?
You know, so even within this conversation. You know, of course, we have the day-to-day, you know, aspects of dealing with other women and things of that nature. But it's some really deep aspects that can happen to you being in the wrong friendship or situation. Even, remember the one girl that they found in the hotel freezer? She was there with all her friends.
Oh, yeah.
And the girl that was in Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
she just brought up another one.
Yeah,
she said
they definitely was not her friends.
That was
you talking about Kanika Jenkins, Chicago, the hotel.
Yes.
And
in that one, they killed that girl in that hotel in Mexico.
Yeah,
and they
that's
like
both of those cases is unbelievable.
Like it's some, and I think what makes it so unbelievable is the fact that the people that you trusted, other women, literally set you up like a pack of hyenas. And it's like, for you to be one person, right? And you've been around these people all day, every day.
Yeah.
What just incited this mob mentality amongst all of you?
I think
to want to do this to this one person.
I think jealousy, for sure. That girl had something that none of them other people had, I think. I mean, I don't know backgrounds and nothing like that, but I think jealousy falls a lot. Insecurities, of course, but nobody's really tapping into themselves to acknowledge their insecurities. It's just pure jealousy and greed, money too. So it's sick. It's sick.
It's a sad reality.
It is.
It's a very sad reality.
It's sad that you unfortunately.
You have to watch women like you feel like you have to watch men.
You gotta watch it.
Like, that's crazy.
Everybody.
I watch little 12-year-olds at the liquor store. I don't trust your little nigga.
The
babies. It's a bunch of little niggas at the liquor store. I go to another liquor store.
The baby.
If it's a bunch of little niggas at the gas station, I go to another gas station. I get my gas. I can make it down over here. I don't trust nobody.
Cuz about to pop the baby.
But the thing about it, and it's so sad, we live in this thing where we have to be on guard all the time from everyone, and it makes it hard to be just peaceful and be yourself, be you, because you're not like that. Now you have to be like this.
You're consistently in fight or flight mode.
Yes.
So it's like a constant state of anxiousness, anxiety. And that actually changes you on a cellular level every day when you operate that way. You can never really just be present in the moment and offer what you have to the world, because you're constantly in fight or flight mode.
Exactly. And it's like, what do you do? Like, how do you regress from that behavior? Because every behavior, I think you touched on this before, is a learned behavior. So when you get a behavior that you do for so long, you learn it and it becomes a part of your life, and then it projects itself onto other things. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, but it could be like a bad practice in a way, because now you like, I don't trust nobody. You know what I'm saying? You don't trust kids. Like, you know,
I got trust issues. Look, and it's a learned behavior. I know it is.
So you just practice not trusting people every day.
Yes. I don't trust your ass.
She found something ominous about every every person that came around.
I don't trust your ass. Like, the store clerk giving back, like, she be counting her money in front of the store, like, hold on, Bob. I know you ain't giving me all my change.
I want the other quarter.
Right.
Not that one. What you put on it.
What you put in that quarter?
Well, thank you guys for this first segment. Please come back and join us where we are going to dive into family feuds. Right after this.
Let me get a shot of the. Is he still on?
Nah, I mean, he gonna edit this little part
Let
out.
me get the commercial break.
Yeah, this is where he inserts the leaves.
The leaves.
The leaves that just go and blow.
Oh.
Thank you guys for coming back. Briefly, I want to also do my shameless plug. Everybody go get While We Were Awake, the book, available on Apple Books, Google Books, and Amazon Kindle. For the second half, we're going to dive into family feuds, and I am here with none other than my family.
Hey, y'all.
Hello.
So, in the dynamic of family feuds, it is a very interesting one. So, I have noticed that over the course of, I'd say the last 15, 20 years, families have really changed. Drastically.
Yeah.
Super drastically. And even though a lot of us feel, especially in my little sect, my little cult of the family, right? We feel that when the older generation died off, that no one really cared to make sure that the bond stayed tight.
Exactly.
Right? But then I thought about something else. And I thought, well, if the older generation was responsible for the bond of the family staying tight, then are they kind of responsible for a little of the animosities that's still carrying as to why the family isn't tight how it used to be on all areas?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. They raised us.
They raised us, yeah. And everybody is raised differently. Like, everybody, you know what I'm saying? When you have your family, right, and you have kids, you know, I'm the only one that has kids. But when you have kids, you kind of go about your life, you know what I'm saying, raising them of how you was raised or by your mom or your dad, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. So the morals may be different. So when that kid grow up, they, you know, my daughter can hang with her cousins at this time or whatever. Say, for instance, I move, I go here, they not as close as whatever. For me, what was a big dramatic change was when our Aunt Shirley passed. That was the crumbling of the foundation, I guess, if it makes sense, because everybody, everybody, we all, what's it, Aunt Shirley and Maria, you know what I'm saying? We all, you know, she was kind of like the one that held us together. And
I love how we all are on different angles of the family.
Definitely.
Yes, we all on different angles of the family.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It's your perspective from your angle of it. And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So like, but at the end of the day, like I still remember like us kind of like, you know, coming together in a lot of, you know, family reunions used to be a thing. Nowadays is non-existent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why?
Me speaking personally, the last family reunion we had,
girl, you told me about that.
Everyone
I didn't
had their own food.
Well, technically,
you had this little cult right here with this and they food, and the other little cult right here with this with they food. And I'm showing up thinking that everybody about to have on t-shirts, and I'm the only one that ain't got one, right? So I show up like, oh, it's a family. Yes, it's smelling like barbecue. Get there. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, so what you making? I'm making this and they making that. I'm not even clicking it together yet that they ain't sharing.
Because you got to think about it too. Our family, though, is different. Because our family, religiously,
I'm going to tell you to quit
you're not about to tell me the pig is separating our family.
And you right. No. See, you fronting right now. You fronting right now.
No, I'm not fronting. This is how I look at it from my perspective.
You fronting now.
That's how I looked at it from my perspective.
You fronting now.
I get that. I look at it. But if you
everybody
still my cousin, you still can have some of my potato chips.
Everybody sitting a mile apart.
Oh yeah, that was different. Okay, I did. Because it was the recent.
How I end up in the damn shed without a hot dog because I didn't know I was supposed to go to the grocery store and bring my own damn grill to a family reunion.
Damn. What family was this?
So
this was the one at the what park was that?
Belle Isle.
It was at Belle Isle, yes, because I remember I just had a night.
The last family I went to was at Kinsey.
That was
I was alive. So
that was a long time ago.
No, that was the last family I remember was at Kinsey.
I remember seeing you there.
My mom came with me.
Yes, she did. Yes, I remember that vividly. Yes. And we was there, and Angel was there, Maria was there. I remember this so vividly.
Everybody, quit name dropping. But
sorry.
It was the family. They was there.
They don't care. Sorry.
I'm saying for real, that was some bullshit. Because how is that? And again, that's what I mean by this underlining family feud thing. Like, you can just smell the shit.
Well, I'm going to say this about it. I'm going to put my little 2 cents on it. Like you said earlier, you said, do you think it's the older generation's fault as to why we haven't carried on the legacies of the family reunions and the get-togethers and the taco night and the keno nights and the whatever nights that we used to have with the old school. Yeah, tacos, keno.
It was keno.
Everything.
Yeah,
my grandma did keno night.
They used to have those little boxes that locked up with all the stuff.
Really? So
I was probably real little. Keno.
You was like a baby out of all of us.
Nobody's perfect. Yes, they kept that family unity dynamic together, but everybody got every family got their skeletons.
But our skeletons hang out when we in public.
They do. But back then
like, you can tell that don't nobody fuck with each other for real.
Because they don't.
Because nobody wants to have the uncomfortable conversations and address it. Everybody knows about it, but they don't want to acknowledge and hold people accountable for how they made them feel. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. So everybody just sitting back, feeling some type of way.
But we have had conversations with people. Like, we have had conversations with different people and have heard conversations in between different people. And it's like they couldn't just take their part.
Yeah, nobody wants to take accountability.
Yeah, they just couldn't take their part.
Accountability, let me tell you something.
Nobody.
And then it ended up just being a diva fest where somebody leave and say, I don't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
But see, accountability is a superpower. Like, you don't understand, like, taking accountability
is
actually proves to me
that I care.
And also I respect you.
Right.
I'm gonna
nobody has
you for
real respect.
But they don't. They don't know what it is. And it's been passed down. Like, you gotta think about this generation. You keep it going.
Stuck in their way.
But who gonna break the cycle?
I think we need to fight.
I think people need to have a conversation.
But I do.
I think everybody needs to get together and fight.
Slow down,
and get it over with so that we can hug.
I'm Martin over here, and I'm gonna say we need to be calm and sit down and have an actual conversation, because one person, and I wish they were here, was Juanita. Me and Juanita had a very good heart-to-heart conversation.
Why did you say call her?
And I wish she was here to speak. But the conversation that me and her had, and I can say, because she know what it is, it was a good conversation. We talked about past and present and how we feel. How we felt then and how we feel now. And that's how I feel like everybody should have a conversation like we had if they ever felt some type of way about something in the past. Because I feel like a lot of our family, the reason why we're feuding or the reason why we don't come around and nobody will say, oh, we're feuding, is because they don't want to acknowledge or take any accountability for how they made someone feel in the past.
Exactly. And the thing about it is,
we grown now. Take your fucking accountability.
And the thing about it is this.
Apologize for it, because you probably didn't know no better. You probably was ignorant and didn't know you were doing, or it probably was projected on you from an adult that probably done passed on.
And then also,
you just didn't know.
Right.
But see, my thing about it is this. what's that old saying? You point one finger, you got to point 20 more pointing back at you. Well, let me tell you something.
You ain't got 20 on
It don't matter. I said you point one finger,
That's
20
your
more.
back kicking
It don't matter.
20
It doesn't matter.
put
Mine kicked out.
But listen, is what I'm saying is this. Is that when you having conversations and you want a solution. When I'm not talking to you to talk to a wall. If that's the case, I talk to my damn self. Right?
Right.
I'm talking to you because I want to come to a solution at the end of this. Whether we agree to disagree, it don't matter. You get what I'm saying? If I'm coming to you, I'm going to come with a solution.
But like you said, we are empaths by nature. So it's not like we don't know how to communicate non-violently.
No,
we know how to communicate non-violently.
But the thing about it is, if you did
nobody
something,
want to be told about themselves.
No, they
That's
don't.
Problem.
They don't. But at the end of the day, nobody do.
Nobody wants to be
That's
told
where I
about
was just about to
themselves.
say.
Can't take constructive
You
criticism.
have to be willing. If I'm coming to you, right, Kirsty, and we had an issue, right? I didn't like something you did, right? Mm-hmm. But maybe it was something I did that you went like. I have to accept for what I did, and you got to accept for what you did, and we got to come to an understanding and say, well, you know what? Is we gonna keep on doing it? Okay, you know what? Dang, I did
gonna
that.
apologize, take accountability, or whatever. Yeah.
And you have to be willing to take accountability for what you did. When you can't be like, I was never wrong. Oh my God, you got to listen to, you was wrong to that person, so you got to respect that. You know what? I respect that. That's being an adult. We adults, we're not children.
Why doesn't anyone feel worthy enough for love in this family?
We all feel that way.
The question is, why?
Wow, that's crazy. You said that, Connie. I was not expecting you to say that.
I see more than I say. Why? That's the real meat and potatoes behind this whole thing. Because it's like a bunch of runner-chaser dynamics. It's like, oh, I run to you. Oh, and no, I'm going to run away. I'm going to make you chase me because you're going to have to beg to talk to me. Mm-hmm. And then, okay, I'm ready to talk. Well, no, I'm going to leave because you made me chase you the last time. And now I'm going to make you beg to talk to me. And really, everything you're feeling is just a sense of unworthiness. Yeah. Why does everyone feel that unworthiness?
And as we should.
Where does that come from?
And it's not necessarily unworthiness. You can feel unworthy, but you mask it by feeling like you're overworthy, like you're superior to others.
No, they mask it with punishment.
Or they feel like, oh, I'm just...
punishment.
I'm going to put on this mask and this facade that I'm okay and I'm the shit and I'm all right. But really deep down, you have insecurities about yourself that we all do it.
But, okay, so...
Insecure-less.
But if what you're saying is, this is how I'm masking it, that I'm the shit and I'm better than everyone else. Mm-hmm. No, what you're set out to do is punish everyone around you because you're withholding. Mm-hmm. You're withholding love that people are trying to give to you. Right. So why are you masking with punishment? Like, what is the power dynamic here to where you're unworthy? You feel unworthy of love.
It's probably self-insecurities.
You want to punish.
It's insecurities that you just don't want to kind of acknowledge or you don't want to share because for whatever reason. It's something that's a self thing, sound like. Cause I
but it's a lot of selves.
I can't, but that's only for yourself to dig into and figure the hell out. It's nothing that nobody else can give you. Like, only thing I can offer you is my love, like you said, and you're punishing me. I can't give you love. So that's a self thing. You gotta figure that out.
And we all have to. You have to, like I said before earlier. The last segment is.
I can't relate to it.
You can't have.
I love being around my family.
You can't have like.
I beg you niggas to come over. I'm like, come over, shit.
She do like, what y'all doing? But the thing about it is, you have to like. We all gotta work on us. And you know what's crazy about it? For me, is that when I come around my family, it's like, man, like. I feel good.
Everyone feels that.
No,
everyone feels that.
But
everyone.
And it's like
it's a struggle to get to the door. But when you finally get there, it's like,
it's like man,
like I should have been here a long time ago.
Because I feel like no one knows me like you. No one knows me like
You can be yourself.
No one, you know what I'm saying? No one knows like Juanita. No one knows. Like, me and Rosie fight like cats and dogs since we were babies. And when I tell you I'm going to fight, like, I can't stand her. But I know for a fact she loves me. And I know I shouldn't name drop, but hey, it's my sister. But like, it's just, it's like, I know she loves me. I know this. Like, it's times when I'm like, that girl ain't rocking with me. She ain't my friend. And you know what I'm saying? But I know my sister loves me. Like, she showed me something recently when I had a little thing, and I was in a whole other country, and she called every day. Like, she after it, because I had to stay a whole day before I left, because I left from anyways. But she called and she kept calling, and then knock on the door. He go, "Hello, Miss Almanza. I was sitting here to see how you were doing."
Called the hotel.
She done called the hotel, had them check on me, everything. Like, she can't stand me, and I can't stand her either. But man, my sister loved me, and I love her too. You know what I'm saying? And and sometimes, like, I realize some of the stuff that we haven't talked about, we don't talk about or whatever. And a lot of it she wants better for me, and I'm stubborn. You know what I'm saying? I'm real stubborn. You know, I'm like, I know it's good for me. But really, it's like, this your sister, she care about, she love you, she wants you to do better. And just as so me with her too, I want her to do better. But see, with me, on the other hand, I don't get upset if she does something that's, I let her follow her journey. I'm like, yeah, that's your journey, man. I don't care what you do. You could literally move to California and join a circus and have my nieces and nephews up there and being clowns. That's your journey, you know. Yeah. I may not agree with it, but that's your journey.
I would say, for me, I mean, I have family in my life and cousins and stuff that I grew up like sisters, because I'm not that close to my sisters. I love them to death, but we just don't have that bond like you and your sister have. So, but I've had cousins that I've had that type of relationship with, and for me, it's like, it's just the lack of communication. Yeah. It was never really like a big feud. I mean, we fought like sisters growing up, of course, but it's just the lack of communication and how your maybe delivery or whatever that we kind of feuded mostly about. Like, I ain't like how you said that, or, you know, people being sensitive, I guess. So maybe it's better, because I had to work on that myself with friendships, relationships, everything. I was told I talk reckless or whatever. I'm blunt, you know. I say things a little harsh. So I've been working on that with myself. But it's never really like a big ass feud though. Like, it's more so, I guess, delivery and communication, the lack of communication. And like I said, nobody wants to take the accountability. Yeah. You know, and for a minute, I may have been avoiding, but that's because I was going through a personal transition.
And you got that right too.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta let yourself.
I was going through a personal. It wasn't even. I wasn't even thinking about what we was feeling about, because I'm like, I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? With a few cousins of mine that, you know what I'm saying, I grew up with, but I'm open to conversation if the opportunity just presented itself. You know, but I'm not in a rush to be like, yeah, I want to sit down and, you know, talk to these people. I done reached out to all of them, to be honest. And it is what it is.
Words is words, babe. So I asked a question one time. I got a question asked to me, and I had a situation where I think it was by my sister or something like that. Because we didn't talk for a long time. So I was done with her. And as a matter of fact, me and my older sister fought when I was pregnant, actually. I was 7 months pregnant. And somebody told me, it was an older family member, and he was like, well, did the same thing, you know. But, so you're just not going to say anything to her. You're not going to communicate with this person at all, whatever. I said, what if they died? How would you feel that you never talk to them again? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? And then she's like, well, that happened to me. Mm-hmm. And they told me the story, and I'm like, dang, that's messed up. Like, she's like, all I had to do was just open my mouth. Mm-hmm. And now they're gone forever, and I can never hear what they have to say back to me.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's you extending the olive branch. But on the other side of the coin is, my issue is, if I'm extending the olive branch, what is so hard about taking the branch? Because guess what? Even, let's say the other thing happened with that conversation, right? And she said, yeah, that's what happened to me. I extended the olive branch and I opened my mouth and my sister told me, fuck me, and she died the next day.
Then that's on the sister.
But that's just, yeah.
My whole point is, don't none of that shit have to happen.
But usually,
you see what I'm saying?
The guilt falls in when the person extended the olive branch and you said fuck them and then they died. That's where the guilt kind of set in with that person. Because it's like, damn, they did try to reach out and I was on some bullshit. Mm-hmm. When that kind of happened, then you really kind of, you like, it's fucked up, but, you know, it is what it is. You said, fuck me, I tried. You at least know that you tried, so it's not as heavy on your heart.
Yeah,
but
that's how I feel.
The guilt is when they extend it and you still say fuck them and
now you just wandering around here a guilty ghost.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Ooh, I should have talked to you.
Guilty ghost.
I should have talked to you. Get out of here, exorcism.
I think a lot of times is we have to understand that we are our own individual people. And we feel our own individual thoughts and feelings. You know what I'm saying? We got that right. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what's fucking it up.
Why? Because I
think it's
we're individuals?
No, hear me out here.
Selfish?
Hear me out here. Yeah, exactly. It's too much focus on individualism. Because when I was growing up, how we were taught was family first. You ain't got nothing but your family. Mm-hmm. So that's how me and my little circle, my immediate, rocked out. And to this day, like, I really believe that if my first cousins were staying here, I would probably be with them all the time. Mm. Because that's how we were taught.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have no grandparents left. I have no grandparents left. So, looking at how we were taught coming up, and my grandmother and grandfather had divorced. And he bought her a house in the back of his house to keep the family together. We literally used to run from one backyard to the other backyard, going from grandma to granddaddy house to keep the family together.
Yeah. I was in the backyard on Toronto for 20 years.
But now as we're growing older, and it's and again, I'm because we're applying it to family dynamics, but even as we're growing older, don't get me wrong, I'm all for people knowing yourself and figuring out who you want to be, but you do not have to punish others in the process. You do not have to be a shitty person or create shitty relationships while you're trying to heal and find yourself. On the realest thing I could say to anybody is, if you are truly on a journey of healing, isolation ain't it. Because you are not going to really experience what you need to know out of that. Hear me out. You're not going to really experience your test of what you have learned during your healing stage unless you are connecting.
Nice thing going.
You just gonna.
I think it's different.
No, I'm saying it's periods. Yeah.
For someone
it's
that
gives,
like for a giver that's always been burned, you may need some isolation time.
Again,
because if you're giving, and don't get me wrong, you can still listen. You can still have relationships. I'm not saying cut everybody off in hermit mode. Like, no, I'm saying when you're a giver and you've given so much and you've been burned so many times, you may need a little bit of time for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you've given so much.
I feel you, but we getting off subject here. We're talking about the family.
You said no.
So what I'm saying is a lot of people within the family dynamics claim that they aren't dealing with family because, I just need to concentrate on me and heal and just, live my godly journey and all of that.
I don't think they're doing that. I think they just don't want to take accountability.
No shit.
For how they feel. They don't want to address that somebody burned them in the past and they feel some type of way. Or they may be trying to just hide their lifestyle. They feel like they're not good enough, or this person made them feel like they were beneath them. Or I've heard this. I've had different, like I said, I don't have no problem with none of my family. I have a relationship with each and every one of the members that I talk to, and we have our own conversation. And I'm not gonna say no names, but these are the things that I've heard in different conversations. This person made me feel this way. That person made me feel this way. This was done to me, and this is why I don't come around like that. But instead of pulling the person that did this to you and making them take accountability of how they made you feel, they isolate themselves. They keep their family away from them. They keep the family from all this. And this is why I say nobody wants to take accountability. Nobody wants to address what the issue really is.
Nobody likes those tough conversations. You have to.
But you have to.
Had
nobody want to have an uncomfortable conversation
with family members. And guess what? Best thing ever that I've ever done. I was scared to have a conversation, and I did it, and it was great. And I still love this family.
I'm sorry, I made you.
My side of the family,
you know what I'm saying? And I still love it. And you know what's crazy?
The Duboses fought.
And the thing about it is,
we
came to the round table and we fought. And after we fought, we loved each other forever. Because you got to get damn animosity out some kind of way. See, and don't get me wrong, I ain't saying niggas got to fight. That ain't what I'm saying for
we're
it.
not promoting
violence.
That's just not promoting violence.
Right. But that's just what we did. So I'm not saying that. But that worked for us at the time.
But it does work. I fought one of my family members, and afterwards, a few months went by, we was cool. We still cool to this day. We just homegirl.
Me and the other country, me and her threw blows in front of her mama.
My culture.
In front of her mama. And her mama let us bang. I'm talking about me and her was banging like two crackheads fighting over a sandwich. We was banging, okay? And after that, me and her you can't separate us. You can't separate us. I'm talking about wherever we are in the world, she keeps up with me.
They'll be the ones that love you the most, though.
Mm-hmm. And it's at the end of the day, let me say something.
I fuck two of my cousins and I love them to death.
That's how you like, right?
I love you.
I love every single last one of y'all. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because you fight or whatever you get some blows doesn't mean like I hate you. Like I don't want to.
Everybody gonna contact their family like, so I think we need to call Uncle John and orchestrate a family fight.
Right. We just need to just hash it out, throw a blows. All right.
And get this shit over with.
We can't do that nowadays because these niggas don't fight no more. Somebody gonna end up
Yeah, because everybody a punk. Like, and I hate that. I really do. Like, you know, take the ass whooping, get an ass whooping, get it over with so that y'all can just kiss and make up. Like,
yes. But it's coming down to this with this family feud, baby. There's always solutions. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere, whether you never talk, you even agree, disagree, move on, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's always solutions. It never has to be to the point where you look at your own family. Share some of the same
as
as
a friend of me.
As someone, I don't give a damn what they did or what you feel that they did. Or you feel like how they are. You feel like they may be better than you. Oh, because they make it 6 figures. They live in a mansion. They doing this and doing that.
Okay, real quick. I'm trying to figure out, when did everyone just become so rich? Like, we ain't all stayed in the same house, 18 people, and we ain't all share a plate, and we haven't all...
How about this? How about I don't care?
I don't care.
Facts, we gonna stop there. Any last comment about the family feud? You just said a lot, don't say nothing.
I said a lot too.
Any last comments you would like to address, you would like to say?
I just hope that if you got any family feuds or animosity, sit down and have those uncomfortable conversations. Address how you feel. Life is short. They've been dragging the unity out of the families. We need to get it back. We stronger together.
Definitely.
We stronger together, for real.
I want to thank both of y'all for being here with me today. This was so nice. I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on While We Were Awake. Can you shut up while I'm doing the outro?
All right.
And we're back. Thank you guys for joining us for While We Were Awake podcast. Please do not forget to go get the book While We Were Awake on Amazon Kindle. Thank you. Apple Books, and Google Books. Once again, today was about frenemies and family feuds. I hope that this can touch someone, spark some conversations, get some things going, because we need each other. Thank you once again for joining me. I'm Concha. And happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all the vets for everything that you do for us.
Bye. Okay, we're gonna talk. I ain't got time. Listen. Okay.
So I wasted my champagne on camera and just kept it moving.
Oh, you got that.
I was like, oh.